on the screen there, one AK-47 assault rifle with serial number 29546, one locally manufactured firearm, two AK-47 magazines, each loaded with 30 rounds, 4 packets of AK-47 ammunition, and each containing 25 rounds, 7 loose rounds of ammunition, 1 pair of Wellington boots, 1 Huawei smartphone, and also 1 pair of sandals, cowrie shells, a Ghana card, and temporary driver's licenses, name withheld for investigative purposes. Dr. Adam Bonaa is the Executive Secretary of the Small Arms and Light Weapons Commission, and he's charged with that responsibility of clamping down on the proliferation of small arms. Dr. Bonaa, thank you. Thank you so much for staying with us to join us on Ghana Tonight. And we're increasingly seeing these interceptions or arrests by the police that corroborates the concern you've been raising about the level of proliferation of small arms. What strategies have you employed so far to deal with this?
Well, not all the strategies can be discussed or can be put out there.
Agreed.
Let me, say good evening to your viewers. Not every information I can put out there. Obviously, if we do that, that would go, in jeopardizing, that would end up jeopardizing whatever effort collaboratively is being put in by the various agencies who are fighting this canker. And so I must say the police is leading, the fight, doing what they have to do. The other agencies are all supporting them to be able to do this. But it is almost an unending cycle, because then once we have too many of them in the system, and more so the outlets where they come from into the system remains largely not too tight. Then you have most of these weapons they come in through some of our unmanned borders. Sometimes they smuggle them in various compartments of vehicles and trucks that are coming into the country. And so largely it is difficult, but I must say that we literally are using intelligence-led operations. Once information is picked, it is shared across, and therefore it makes it easy to clamp down, to get to some of these perpetrators of these crimes before they act. I'm sure you heard about what happened in Winneba. You've heard about some of the incidents in Kumasi. You've heard about incidents in various areas in this country, that some of these criminals, and you see, usually these are people who are well connected. They move. They are very, agile. They move from one location to the other, committing these crimes. And so the chain of movement must be broken. Once it is broken, definitely the rest of them are going to be arrested, Alfred.
Right, and you talk about the strategies in the institutions that are leading this. How about the blacksmiths as well? Because these locally manufactured ones, in time past, through some of the work that you have done prior to you occupying this office, you trace it to their cortices, is it not?
That's correct, 100%. The problem with the most difficult aspect of this fight has to do with the locally manufactured weapons, because usually with the imported ones, until they obliterate or they tamper with the serial numbering, we are able to trace it sometimes to Eastern Europe, to America, to Australia and other locations. But with the locally manufactured ones, they come not marked. They are, they make them the way they want. And some of them are retrofitted, and they shoot like, what do you call it, machine guns. And therefore is a reason why, from the small arms point of view, or the Arms Commission, when we become a regulator, is to ensure that the bill that is before the minister's ministry, or the Ministry of Interior, goes through the process quickly and be passed. Because then we don't have the laws governing guns regulation or weapons in this country is not it's not enough. It's not good. And so people usually are caught with weapons, and the only time they get to be punished severely is when they are on their way to commit crimes using the weapon. Until then, it is largely a misdemeanor, and therefore it becomes very difficult to deal with this canker the way we should have dealt with it. And until we are able to do that, galamsey fight becomes difficult, and chieftaincy disputes. In the next few weeks or so, we are going to be ushered into Homowo and all that, and you will see, sporadic shooting in the atmosphere. People sometimes using gunpowder and using live bullets. And so, yes, but once the law is passed, you see, these people who make these weapons must be documented. At the moment, there is no data capturing these people. And that is what is making it very difficult to fight it. But all the same, they themselves, their leaders give us information that sometimes help us in apprehending those of them who make them for purposes of committing crimes.
Right. And you refer to that law. I know it's under review now. If aspect of it is going to be amended. Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Bonaa. Thank you for joining us on this.